Today, the 23rd day of July 2020. Now, a remarkable day in the history of Sierra Leone. The Public Order Act of 1965, the Part 5, where journalists them don't they complain about, where journalists them don't they lobby about, where the Ministry of Information from the past administrations them don't they lobby about, where promises them don't they happen from past administrations them, not they take place at the end of the day, but today it's out of our law books in Sierra Leone. And for that matter, everybody will take part. We say kudos from the President of Sierra Leone to the legislative body, the parliament, to we, the people of Sierra Leone, will not be set smart. We want to say kudos. We go say, yes, this is not the first part. Make the law pass, make them throw them, make them amend them, and it's been amended. Now, let everybody take up your responsibility. But for today, we go just focus on the good news. Not to come again, can begin they say, oh, we will deal with that. Trust, we go deal with that. Journalists get in part for play. And we hope say now, when journalists ask politicians then question, they're not go able for use libel again. But then go able to provide answers to those questions. We go make with democracy be as transparent as we want them for be na salon. We go can dive inside that one day, but as usual, make we just go through the COVID-19 status update for today. 295 tests was conducted. 295 tests was conducted. And when we get 295 tests, guess what? Today, we get 21 positive cases. 21 positive cases. Remember, for the past days then, don't they get low numbers? We go till we get 0. The term will be 99 tests conducted. The other term we get 163 tests conducted, other term 103, other term 99. And we all be there on the low side. But today, when we go 295, we get 21 positive cases. Wait till we say, the more tests that is conducted, now the more positive case we get. What's in that they want for imply? For say, people still get the virus in the salon without them knowing. Now I make Nakovac, and the government of Salon, they tell people within a free to say, please, when I go to the special court building, request say you want me to test you, and then go test you, you go know if you get them. But again, let me just watch how through the districts them, how we manage get these 21 cases. Western Area Urban, 2. Bonth, 2. Moyamba, 3. Pujeon, 2. Bombali, 1. Tonkolili, 8. Karene, 2. Kenema, 1. You go find out, say, now we get high numbers them from the districts them now the provinces. If you turn at the epicenter, yes, you don't carry that number, I don't team up on top of them, but lately, you go find out, say, up the provinces, now they the high numbers than they come out now. So just like we Nakovac tell we, say, okay, then go try for Giwi tomorrow. They don't put a date where they say, then go Giwi the active case search, the detail. But however, they want to take them to other parts them. It's fine for me, then can go to other parts them. But not for they do no more if we not able to get a detailed report of how things they don't look like inside Freetown where then they do them now. Even though they not meet them targets them. And if Freetown where they try for say 400 a day, where they not ever meet, you think say if they go now the provinces, then the active case search for bump them up, for go na communities them, for encourage people them, and even this one they say they want get centers them na the provinces where people then can just walk in and go test themselves. You feel say then go do with Freetown. You refuse, or you feel say the people them within at the provinces then go much more adhere for go take them for me they know their status instead of people in Freetown we just don't care. But make we carry on and look what's in the other numbers they look like. The confirmed cases now in Salone don't reach 1,752. 1,752. The one the more in isolation center, it don't come to 394. Yesterday we don't try, we don't go down. But guess what? Because of that 21 we don't add. Now 400 they can cross so back. For the past 24 hours, 4 people be recovered from COVID-19 in Salone. And the recovery numbers now don't reach 1,292. 1,292 people don't recover from coronavirus in Salone. For the past 24 hours, nobody not die of COVID-19. So we still stand at 66 total number of people we don't die of COVID na Salone. The one that were in quarantine na 644. The one that were out of quarantine na 9,148. The number of tests we don't conduct inside Sierra Leone. From when they begin conduct tests, now 16,118. 16,118 out of 7 million people. And they claim say Freetown are 2 million, did they? The entire country. Now only 16,000 tests. Now we don't do. The active case search don't come will be the target for 10 weeks. 400 tests a day. But oh yeah, at the 3rd week, now they can enter Soparam. We're already in the 3rd week. What tell the talk? Already in the 3rd week of the active case search. We still not get 400 a day. Today when we reach 295, we get 21 positive cases. So the day we reach 400, what thing will be our expectation? But we wait for tomorrow. Because na tomorrow Nakovac tell we say, then go come and give we that update way. Then don't say whether they promise where. But oh yeah, it not be there happen. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful say it will happen tomorrow. I'm just hopeful. But tomorrow will come. We'll come back now. And I go can explain what thing happened. Because the other day, I be even asked them, say, please, when they release something, they just read and I don't do. But we go like for make them able forget a soft copy. We self go lay we anpa, so we go through them. we program proper for today. The 1965 Public Order Act Part 5 has been amended in 2020. The last time we Parliament shake by the bill, let me get for pull and back nado. They say because some procedures they way for happen, will not be happen, some instruments will be happen, will not for happen. We be we can't talk about them. We even get people at that time we still be the defend. Say, people are not for worry. If you know they do it in, you not for do, you not for worry. But this is the same thing with previous administrations. Then we don't promise we may not be able for make it happen. President Bill, yes, he talk about them, and I don't know, but today it don't happen. Even that testilo, then be testilo. We then pull an adofos. Then see the outcry. People say, look like say this one, it's of utmost importance. Other thing in there, we believe say we want for see with Parliament sit down. That 9 hours we then sit down today. They need for sit down and back. For review the Constitution. No, they forget that one day. For review them. They need that one day. I don't know that for come up with that one way for make people in the diaspora get right for votes. All that one day, somebody need to remind them for them. But today on, kudos. 55 years. With this lawyer done the pram people them. We get opportunity there for stream them. I don't know if you self be they come and go, because I know say it was a difficult one for make everybody sit down for 9 hours. For make watch them, even the one themselves will be they deal with this case. One way or the other, I know say some man must sneak na do go find bele. But Honorable Gevao, I'm be there in charge of all this thing for CC. Now then we get the committee go sit down and plan how all this get for come. Then we don't get all the sittings them. This time for Canal na the Bobo Jama, make everybody can agree now. Wait till they not agree, the word they not agree and everything. So after all the Bobo Jama business be done. Now this, now we get now, as amended in 2020, the Public Order Act. Listen to Honorable Gevao.
Honorable members, and I feel the related honor serving as chairman legislative committee and stand here this afternoon to present the legislative report on the bill entitled the second report of the legislative committee, first session of the 5th Parliament, on the second What is the caption of an action? When is the caption of an action? I'm even a lawyer and the opportunity to present this bill. I must bring in the legal jargon. For 70% of Produce played at the committee stage on a committee report of the bill that is full of house. It is really historic.
Very historic. Thank you, Mr.
Very historic. And it's a manifesto promise. Thank you. Mr. Chairman, honorable members, I rise to present a bill entitled Second Report of the Legislative Committee, third session of the 5th Parliament of the Second Republic of Sierra Leone, on the bill entitled the Republic Order Amendment Act 2020, presented to Parliament on Thursday, 23rd July 2020. Introduction. Mr. Chairman, honorable members, I rise to present the second report of the Legislative Committee, third session of the 5th Parliament of the Second Republic of Sierra Leone, on the bill entitled the Republic Order Amendment Act 2020, being an act to amend the Public Order Act 1965, Act number 46 of 1965, by repealing Part 5, which deals with the defamatory and seditious libel. Mr. Chairman, honorable members, the bill having gone through the second reading was committed to the Legislative Committee for scrutiny pursuant to Standing Order 51, Subsequently, the committee met on Monday, 20th July 2020 in Committee Room number 1, Parliament Building, with the following objectives. 1. To scrutinize the detailed provisions of the legislative proposals after the second reading in the House. 2. To ascertain the constitutional and legal implications contained therein. And 3. To report to Parliament in accordance with the provisions of standing orders of this Honourable House. Mr. Chairman, honourable members, in attendance we have the Minister of Information and Communication, Commissioner of the Independent Media Commission, officials of the Sierra Leone Association of Journalists and Parliamentary Council who made meaningful contribution. Recommendation. Mr. Chairman, honorable members, the committee has scrutinized the bill line by line and clause by clause, recommends the following amendments to the House for approval. 1. The short title of the bill be approved. 2. The long title of the bill be amended by deleting the word "and other related matters." 3. That clause 1 and 2, bracket open, amendment of Part 5 of Act number 46 of 1965 and amendment of Part 6 and 7 and sections 38 to 46 of Act number 46 of 1965, bracket close, respectively, be approved. Conclusion. Mr. Chairman, honorable members, the Legislative Committee, having scrutinized the bill entitled the Public Order Amendment Act 2020, recommends these proposals to the House for approval. The report reflects the consensus of honorable members of the committee. I therefore move that the Honorable House pass the bill entitled the Public Order Amendment Act 2020 through committee stage, third reading, and into law. I thank you for your attention. Signed, Honorable Indolo Devao, Chairman of the State Committee.
That's now Honorable Indolo Devao. Dear, if we're getting a lawyer in the house, because how we be start the word entitle. Now he say na entitle. He say na word where then they use na the bar. So because now something we get for do with law today, I make you use them. But we parliamentarian them. They how okay. Many no say just now at people in talk. But whenever na something we then a parliament we get for record and make we hear back. The feedback from a parliamentarian there. Hey, okay. After him don't talk, you know say the information minister I may get for represent the president because not through the president, yes, he be talking a manifesto, but not through the Ministry of Information, now he go get for able to achieve this. After this, we don't turn something now. Now we are waiting the information minister, Honorable Mohamed Rahman Swai, waiting in big for tell Parliament in thank you message.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, colleagues, I am very, very excited to be standing today at the threshold of history. We have all walked this very long journey. I am thankful from the bottom of my heart for the cross-party support you lend this week. Thank you very much. God bless you. So His Excellency President Leone, who has given me the opportunity and the space to lead, to champion the repeal of a bill that is far older than me. I could not be more grateful. Thank you so very much. So, SLAG and all other bodies, the Independent Media Commission, this has been an extremely long journey tonight. Thank God we have seen the light today. I will, anytime this is His Excellency for me to move on to other rooms, I will hold my head up high, very satisfied that many gave, they saw, I gave, I saw, and I conquered. I thank all of you that will live in a era, what I watch in our lifetime, where media practitioners will be able to practice their trade without let or hindrance, and an era where for the very first time, in living memory, our media practitioners are now going to be entitled to salary and some reservation made for them for a rainy day. I could not have asked for a better opportunity to be at this history-making opportunity. Thank you very much. I could go on and on forever. Thank you.
That's now the Minister of Information and Communication, Mohamed Rahman Swai. There, c'est beaucoup people and we don't come before I'm not able. But if President Bill pull a hand herself now today, he will raise his head up and be proud to say the 1965 Public Order Act Part 5 na through your hand. Na de it come out na do and it was amended. Even though there was a testy law will not take place. But make we just go through quick the press release from the government of Sierra Leone about the repeal of Part 5 of the Public Order Act of 1965. It says inside the New Direction Manifesto and several public statements them where President Bill be done they make. If they don't make, say, intimate tranga one for repeal the 55-year-old criminal and seditious libel law, we're inside Part 5 of the Public Order Act of 1965. He say the repeal, he say the president, beaucoup them, don't they argue, say, he don't want anything we go make people and things say he don't want for repeal this bill. And this one, he not go even make free speech then at the country. But we income for expand democratic space and consolidate with democracy. So this one for common road. He say, and President Bio, in a way and manner, we try for keep in commitment. The president, he say, he take a bold step and courageous step back to secure cabinet approval for the repeal of the criminal libel law. And thereafter, it be tabled on a parliament through the Ministry of Information and Communication. He said the parliament today, when at the 23rd day of July 2020, finally don't amend the Public Order Act of 1965, Act number 46 of 1965, by repealing Part 5 of that law, we deal with criminal libel, and also enacted the Independent Media Commission, IMC Act 2020. He said the IMC Act 2020 will enhance the professionalism of journalism and make investment in media more attractive. He said members of parliament during the respective contributions to the debate, then they applaud President Bio for keeping in promise and the way and manner way it try for pull this criminal libel law. Say because this now all law and strongly they affect the development of the media industry na salon. He said the bold decision by the Bio-led government to repeal this particular lawyer, because that's something we don't promise the media landscape na salon. He say the Minister of Information and Communication, Mohamed Rahman Soare, say we hope say the journalists them then go practice professionalism inside the media business right now na salon. And also then go find way where then go work with the Independent Media Commission. We go help them for enhance their regulatory powers. And they go give Sierra Leone Association of Journalists the civic and moral responsibility for institute self-regulatory system for the members them. He say Information and Communication Minister Mohamed Soare, he be pinpoint on that particular one day. The President of the Sierra Leone Association of Journalists, Ahmed Nasrallah, say then they follow the repeal of the Public Order Act and the introduction of the IMC Act 2020. He said because then go follow him, then go be more professional and responsible media now na salon. System, then go encourage them for abide by all the editorial them, the guidelines them, the code of ethics them, all things where then they do, then go encourage them for abide. This, na so Nasrallah say. He say, he paid a glowing tribute to President Bio because waiting do, he keeping commitment. And he also needs to journalists them go justify the trust and confidence where they don't put upon them for say them go practice more responsible and professional journalism na salon. This one come out from the Information Directorate, Ministry of Information and Communication. Today, the 23rd of July 2020. Yes. Well, this one, not easy for say, now talk and do. Not so. It don't happen. Now we want to see everybody take upon themselves their own responsibility for make sure say Parliament no regret say if we not pull this, and also the journalists them not go say if we no left that one day because this kind of tactics what they use now per we a worst past waiting we been get before. However, make we count Usman Toli, make we hear waiting and get for it today. Yes, Usman Toli, you get the platform, sir.
Okay, first
I go just want to congratulate the government and the parliamentarians them for this historic day and the history of the country. Very, very historical. And we really appreciate the fantastic job we don't do. What I will do now, because we get people that will just come now the forum, I will just quickly summarize the important point them. I will make a quick introduction, and then what I will do, I will comment on the issues then. I will comment on the issues. So quickly, let's take one through. In 1965, 55 years old now, a law was passed, what they call the Public Order Act. In Part 5 of that law, when Section 26, 27, it talks in anybody will maliciously publish anything where they defame somebody in character, if will be guilty of an offense. And if that person is then found and guilty, then go give him a punishment, imprisonment, where will exceed 3 years or a fine of 1,000 leones. I know you were surprised with the 1,000 leones. In 1965, 1,000 leones now a lot of money. So just imagine 55 years now. So you will see say 1,000 leones is small now, but then was a lot of money. I doubt if not to around 10 cents or so in terms of dollar. Okay, Boku journalists then don't imprison them because of this law. So it will raise a lot of concern. People then, for example, I'll give us some recent example of people that we then convict because of this. We then convict because of this law. For example, you get the chief editor of New Age newspaper, Ibrahim Samura. You get Thomas Dixon. You get Theo Adin of the Sierra Leone Times. You get Bye Cisse. You get David Tam Bayo, himself now other victim. You get man like Paul Kamara. And more recently, we get Sylvia Blyden, where then just not accused, discharge. Yeah, I will come to that. So, as I said, a lot of concerns they go on, they take this thing for try for repeal this law, but they're not be able. It don't go court, but them, but all the courts say they don't see any immediate threat, so they can then be thrown out. They don't challenge them though, but the law, the judge, they always can say, they don't see any immediate threat, so they throw them out. So this is why it's historic, because so much people are not involved for fight this thing for let them repeal them, they'll not be able. So today is an historic moment for we. Because what they do, the parliament don't debate on this through the information minister. When Abdurrahman Suare come, they look into it, they don't make amendment to it. In other words, they don't expunge Part 5 of the Public Order Act. They don't pull and commodity. So now they can call now the Public Order Amendment Act 2020. So in other words, the Public Order Act Amendment Act 2020 don't replace the Part 5 of the Public Order Act 1965. So again, people in the area about the IMC, which is the Independent Media Commission, is important also because they introduced another one we can call the Independent Media Commission 2020. What they basically just for do their own the more for the regulate, because now that they don't expunge Part 5 of the Public Order Act, so they need something where they regulate them people here for make sure say them behave responsibly and professionally. That is to say, the journalists then for behave responsibly and professionally. So they give the Independent Media Commission 2020 Act, give the IMC the power for regulate the journalists, the media houses, so that they will behave professionally and responsibly. So what I will do now, I don't give you a short introduction. I can't speak to the issues. I can't comment on the most important issue. And what I will do, I will bring a sensational question, where I will use that question there for analyze the situation. Why it is historic? Why is it important? What are the implications? But that's what I can talk about now. The question is, now whose interest where this new act, when the Public Order Amendment Act 2020, would that them if you say it is in the interest, or would that they try for protect? That is the question here. Why is it so important? Why is it so historic? Now the question this way, I can't answer now. Well, first of all, clearly, we don't say the people are more will benefit from this amendment, Act 2020, than the media institutions then. Yeah? The media institutions then. Because I don't give you an example of so many people where don't suffer because of that criminal libel law. A lot of them, they're not in prison then. Yeah? And the fact that they get this law, it affects the development of the media industry. Because a lot of people are they're afraid for come inside this sector, the media sector. Because as long as that law they exist, they're not safe. Yeah, they're not safe. Because anytime we publish something where they don't, especially the politicians, no saying they're against them. The next thing what they do now for charging for libel, they mean say, you go face the law. So clearly, the media institutions then, it protect them as far as the new Amendment Act is concerned. And also, under these same media institutions then, the women then distract them. Yeah, there was some form of restrictions in terms of the woman. If woman is afraid for come inside the industry simply because so woman is afraid for most of the time for go prison. So man is not so mind like woman there. So you see, actually by repealing this law, it encourage more women them for kind of the industry. Now the other benefit of repealing the media libel law. Also, you think about the media institution in terms of wages. It was interesting for no say a good number of the journalists then they hand below the minimum wage, which is 600,000 per month. And they hand below that. But now that this law don't come and they are now regulated, and close observation from the INMC, I think say, that's now a benefit to the media institutions then. And would I gain them profit from this? Clearly the people them. We the people them. Because there are things that we, people let they talk. Because the more we get that freedom of speech, the more we effectively criticize the government for issues then, I think would help for make the government become more efficient. Yeah? And don't forget, it's not only the criminal libel law not only affects the journalists then, but because journalists then are the forefront. So therefore, we just concentrate on the media, but anybody they say, yeah. But clearly, the people themselves they benefit from that. Again, a win for democracy. if you think about it. Clearly, this is a win for democracy. Because in respect of freedom of expression, democracy enhances freedom of speech, freedom of expression. So now you get, you're not saying you're able to express yourself freely without, you're not afraid of the criminal libel law. As long as you do it responsibly and professionally. So clearly, democracy, like a win for democracy, basically. And it is important also that we the people, we also win. Because if you think about it, we pay taxes. And for any case where they prosecute, is a waste of the taxpayers' money. Especially if that case they don't go through. For example, let me give you an example. Sylvia Blyden, in one case is related to the criminal libel law. What happened? Evans said the judge, he threw the case out. Say no, see no grounds. After all this waste of taxpayers' money, how this case is so sensitive. In the end, they say not enough evidence for prosecute this case. So clearly, it's a waste of taxpayers' money. Clearly. So with this amendment, 2020 Act, it will help for save with the taxpayers' money. So now one area that one where the amendment gets a lot of other implications. However, I will thank His Excellency the President, Julius Maada Bio, and I commend them highly. We therefore be very, very, very clear about this. Remember, this law done there for so many years, 55 years, and a lot of effort has been made to repeal this law. And all efforts went in vain. Here is a man who promised, not in manifesto, say he will come to can repeal that law because he know what the implication of that bill, that law. And he done. So therefore, it deserves praise. Right? We all remember some time ago we talked about this same law here. We expressed concern because if they don't send this law by the same minister, Abdurrahman Suare, if they don't send this same law now, Parliament will go scrutinize them, for go amend them, it didn't say expire. Yeah, it expired because any bill we don't in a Parliament for more than 3 months without amendment or whatever, or any bill where they pass to law after 3 months, if we send them back, it will start the process and come back. So we all being concerned. We then throw them out of the well of Parliament. We may say, no, never come again. Yeah? But then people here, the government being so determined meet the promise, we then promise we say they will repeal this law. And indeed they repeal them. So I will say kudos to the government. That's our achievement. Yeah? Now achievement. So for Carleton, this is historic. And I'm really impressed with the government. Because government don't go, government don't come, people they don't suffer. A lot of journalists they don't suffer under this criminal libel law. And for carry this law, I think it deserves praise. In countries like Ghana, they don't repeal the criminal libel law. Liberia don't do the same. Liberia is almost 2 years now with a repealer. But then they do fine. So why not we? So now that I put on the table, thank you very much, AAA, and thanks to everybody really listening to this program. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Usman Tholi. Thank you for your submission, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Make we come to Dr. Aisatu. Make we hear waiting in get for we. Welcome on board, Dr. Aissatou Kake Jallow. You get the platform.
Yeah, thank you very much, AAA. And I want to say congratulations to all the journalists with the cover news now in country, whether in abroad or we say on the ground. And I'm sure, and we want to also tell the administration, thank you, President Bio, for being word for ensuring that this law has to then be able for repeal, given the fact that it's been 55 years. And now, I'm sure the journalism will get like a freedom of the press, maybe say in the responsibility and the role where the journalism get in a huge one, for make we understand, say, journalism, the purpose of journalism is like, for really provide citizens them with the information that they will need to make the best possible decisions about their lives, their communities, the society, and the government as a whole. And that is very vital in the lives of all Sierra Leoneans because, knowing the truth about something and the journalists in other responsibilities to ensure that any news where they put out there, it's truthful, and they make any mistake for say something today and then go back and change them. And even if you change them, let me say something, been done, go to full-blown investigation and say, this thing happened, and then you don't report them, and people don't believe that. So right now, community, society, everybody go to depend on the journalists for come up with news that we not factual news. So I'm sure with this new development in our country, when a historic moment in our country, I'm sure, the journalists then will take a good pride in the work with and they do in it, and I'm sure we country can move forward by then small changes there so will it happen as the time goes on. So, and I want to say congratulations to all the journalism, and we did hope and we did look forward to, better, journalism in our country. There are different branches of journalism, which I'm sure we will see. Maybe if we'll not be to get a lot of these investigational journalism, we will get a lot of these now because people can go feel comfortable and feel free for saying, then we'll go ahead and investigate a case as long as there are facts, there are evidence, then we'll believe their story, because sometimes that's not the problem for most journalists in the country. And, in terms of COVID-19, we already don't see, like you mentioned, the cases were low, and today with a new case of 21, that's huge, So it's really scary for the country, and we hope, say, people then will really try for adhere, and then really not say this sickness here, so it's there. And with the hope, say, the NACOVAC team, not will just they do few tests, they will try to do as many tests as them we don't promise. That 400 cases a day, if you've been asked me, from the day when they start to now, for probably they target 1,000 cases per day, but it seems like that's not happening. And the only way we get for find out, for know how many people then get COVID-19 at the country, for know container, for know how best we could deal with the situation, and where exactly what you get. If you don't know what you get, you don't know how to treat them. It's just like treating a disease. If you don't know what stage a cancer is, you don't know how aggressive you need to treat it. So I always can go back to that, given the fact that if you find out about a cancer, or a problem at the early stage, you have a better chance of ensuring that that problem they resolve or become curable. But when you find out something at a very late stage, it's, at that moment, all you do, you just try for cover, like make the person feel better, like for somebody who get cancer, all you do, give them palliative care. Palliative care means, just providing them with comfort, pain management, and that's all you do. Compared to somebody that have stage 1, 2 to 3, you treat those ones with aggressive treatment to ensure that, that cancer, go in a remission. So with the hope, say, we team, the NACOVAC team, will see testing, more testing in the country can really help us in how we can, isolate and try to put things under control. So that Now, one thing I feel so for do, I briefly want to mention now, which I was going to do on a different day, but I think it makes sense knowing that tomorrow is Friday and then going to be the second Friday with the mosques that they open. You know, most of you know I'm from Poti. You know, I grew up there, and then I decided to do a vertical, bucket hand washing station in all mosques that are within the Poti community, and then I extend that to Rukupa and Dryma Lane. And maybe if AAA get chance, maybe later on in the show, he will show you some of the work. We did about 34 vertical buckets, to all these mosques, to ensure that they wash their hands, not only when they take al-wala or ablution before going to the mosque, we provide them, then cooler them for make sure they will perform them, cleanliness that they need before praying, and also ensuring that the vertical buckets are there to wash their hands after leaving the mosque, so that we will continue to spread the message. We will continue to sensitize the community in terms of, COVID-19. And that's not a fight where I'm sure Charity Network, Charity Foundation, don't they take a very forceful role that they want to make sure COVID-19 done as alone. No other people than they do this by their own community. So I encourage everybody to do that. I feel for impact community we start come out. So that's why I take that individually. I do them alone for a reason, and that's what I would encourage everybody to do. For those of you that are within the WhatsApp group, will see some of the images them already firsthand. I try to share all the information with them, because at then don't they support the network, they don't support the Charity Foundation, and we want for the continue to do that. And there will be more things that we need to do in our country during the time of COVID-19. And I want to say thank you to everybody, and we look forward to a good journalism in our country. We want to say, hashtag, proud of all the journalisms or journalists in our country. Thank you very much. And hashtag Shalom is a historic moment today for us, July 23rd, 2020. It's a good day. Trust me, it is a good day. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Aissatou. Thank you, ma.
Thank you.
Yeah. Today is a good day. Indeed. Today, na good day na Sierra Leone. Make we out us friend, make we hear waiting a get for we. Yes, us friend, you get the platform, sir.
Yeah, hello, AAA, and thank you very much. And thanks to all the previous speakers, and welcome on board anybody who will watch you tonight. Me on take by this libel law, wouldn't term as seditious libel law. Usman Tolino introduced them quite a lot now. He says it started in 1965. But when you look at 1965, what they can bring on inside, I think it just lasts for 3 years with Albert Magan in rain day. I don't mean the party, I mean the law itself, but when we bring them. So in 1968 now, APC can take over. And during the time, we even introduce a land say, even amongst within the SLPP then they oppose them. And even without those who are out of it, the opposition and back, they oppose them. So it not being get favor. So but yes, still able to convince people there, because he tried for use as a sledgehammer for silence anybody when I critic. So he used that one day. But when the APC they come back, then when they try for see how they will bring them up to time, they just promise, it come in different sequence. Up to a time now where they bring her halfway, then left her halfway. But it just looked like somebody where they look at a grape where get her, they say this way bitter. But when you get her, a different thing in some way. I'm not going to say na negligence. I'm not going to say again a thing wave in the favor when you come inside and for that they keep them for protect. Because when you look people either they use them, you get the one the way they protect, you get the one the way they cause problem too. So it become a double knife edge. The handle side way it will be now the one then we day in the law by then. So you can't say this go on. But in 1991 back, when they can't change the constitution, they actually look into section 25 for let them compare them with that particular law. Because in the law, when they can't adjust, they talk about freedom of speech. And then the right for freedom, the right to freedom of speech rather. So they can look into and then they say, well, use this as a yardstick for that it will negate another law. We will pull this seditious libel law but they're not able to succeed still because they're not being able to take out the parliament. So only final time after a lot of lobbying, promising and so on, now just before, I think in September last year, now wouldn't come out recession, that recession didn't come out, now they can bring in a parliament because there was no way for them to come a parliament for many reasons. So when you come a parliament now, you can't see today, then come inside. But the only thing we maybe observe no more way you see say this year back, within they try, they look into other areas then because outside plan they take 9 hours for let them go able for do something. Then you be ask this question, people and go. Me myself, I go work now. I come back, I meet them, they still 2 hours before and after I come break. I still see them. So now those time they spend. So you go see say when anything that you mind, you willing for do them, when you willing in life, you know they feel any other thing where they can at the outside. Hunger go away because everybody was willing to partake. So now that side, first of all, I'm commenting, if not so, everything na that part they wouldn't see today, would not oppose, all man would just bring in contribution, then take the sense out of they, then put them, they wouldn't say I, will always say I, go before, but put him for on progress. That willingness in mind. You forget about hunger because you are willing. But when other things come, there are people that will go, they go and balance. Then that side of the mind of the human being. Then when you can now, you can look actually how they come about for actually bring this tier inside. They bring a thing that because of I don't call them dictionary and go put this word, they can't bring her inside. They define and put her inside. But what they can't put inside, I cause them big problem today. Because some of them were minor words. Well, even the speaker of the house say, well, in try forget the definition of some of them words there, wouldn't go try for pull and put. Like they say public or persons, or then they say proprietors, them how they call them, so other word below them they use. So all those words been there, wouldn't be the first for pull and sentences them. Because some of the laws that were the right now them words and the people and they use for argue. The one we bring and can put her inside something in a one focus, but because of the language pattern we don't put towards whatever they put, you want they can now when a lawyer and that side they take. Because the first one we put her, they may put her focus on one side. But because of some words the way they put inside between, where lawyer can now that side they say, well now so it been deal. Now afterwards now so this day. But the law something is straightforward. So the next thing and they, if they get for look into other laws, the way they say the cyber law and they bring them up soon back for other laws there are many there and more other things than they back for let them go able for govern a change in Sierra Leone. So that's side number one for let them go they look in terms of how they do things then because it don't day already, but how they go able to adjust them. But let it not be again for the near future. Because still something that they left today because we said they talk about religion. They talk about the private radio station there where in case sometimes they can say something when a Christian based or Muslim based, how they go put their law in there. Then they felt Uda go able for give them an insight. They're not involved, Uda they involved, but there are people who are higher authorities in parliament, like a bishop rep, or they call it a religious rep, they can able consult them in those things. So now then they back again, they bring draw on the other side where they say, well, Uda then go put go there na this side now from sludge. He bring draw. Even when some of them we are saying the same thing, but then they argue among themselves. Because the other man was saying something at the far back, then the other man they say something. But the point me can only because let us say this person he don't contribute like I believe say, which is very good. So they therefore just think of flexibility of involving like the committee instead of say the chairman will be the president and go able for elect. Then therefore get right for elect somebody. Then it come back the area of foreigners, how they go able for own and run things then. Now the speaker of the house mentioned today say, well, what of investment and tapping knowledge, like where they say far-fetched knowledge, where they go pick from somebody, let me say learn from them. But then I say, well, that one they put on one side, when at least it do. But it comes to a point back, it becomes confusing. But all I say, let them succeed. Tomorrow, until they don't really adjust, because everybody don't go, any side then go. The pages are up to 14, but now some of the pages they are facing enjoy use. And then look at, but now that area of the language pattern where they go, they use for make how they call it, laws them in acts in parliament, especially for Africa, where there's some things that are difficult to go, now they think that one let them consider. And a million contribution for tonight. If Saturday can anytime we'll tell them. Thank you very much for giving the platform.
Thank you.
Bless world.
All right. Yeah. Thank you very much. Usfriend, thank you, sir.
You're most welcome, yeah.
All right. Yes, caller, you're live on air. You name and side call from?
Good evening. I call from Sierra Leone, Freetown. I'm Alpha.
Yes, I'm Alpha. Get 3 minutes. What's my contribution?
Thank you so much for the program. I think we did talk about the 55 years old criminal libel law, which is 1965 Public Order Act, being amended 2020, including the Code of Conduct of IMC, that is Independent Media Commission. Thank God today, almost finally, after many years, where members of parliament or the former government, former president of Sludge, they offered for this particular bill so it will go through. But by the help of God and by the hard working of the new direction government, His Excellency the President Julius Mandabio, under his leadership, with the hard working of the Minister Mohammed Rahman Sware, Minister of Information and Communication. And finally, the members of parliament, ranging from the main opposition, the ruling party, the NGC, the C4C, the paramount chiefs, representative in parliament, and independents, they all unanimously support the Criminal Libel Law, Public Order Act, to be amended. And finally, today, all more can to the rest. And honestly, all of them, they together, from the starting to the end today, almost, they all be there together. And because they say, during this time where the law be the journalists, they not be able to do their work perfectly because they be afraid, because it should be then they say, if you go beyond, they go criminal law or the law will bet you. So people are not be invest in journalism or in media landscape of this country. So His Excellency, even though he may not be the most marginalized president before this time, but I think we can get for review and it don't review today. So now it all left with the government, the journalists, the journalists for work professionally and to make sure say they invest in the landscape of journalism. Of course, the other the other contributor be they say indeed debate be there almost 9 hours, but the 9 hours debate way be there today because Mrs. be they just be one go through the legal things, and at the end of the day, where nobody no go look at us say this was that. So that it may take a longer time. But almost all of them be there together towards this particular bill. So, of course, one world where they all be faithful, where they not see the meaning at all, where they totally agree say therefore write them off or delete them from that particular bill. So now the issue of public interest. The speaker and the parliamentarians and even the committee chairman, Honorable Hindolo Giva from Kailang, they go in charge of public interest, they know able get the actual meaning. So they decided for deleter off of the bill so that the journalists they go work now freely and professionally. We'll therefore avoid reckless journalism in this country. So it was so fine today. It was good. So thank you for the program.
All right, thank you very much, Amar Alpha. Thank you, sir. The video you see right now, na Facebook, if you watch na Facebook, before I go out to next caller, na live from the airport, and now you see how they get for go through the process. So what you see right now, na live video from Freetown International Airport. Now you watch so. Just watch, make you see how the thing they go now. They want them where they see now online, then they try for board. And after that, I believe you go get for see where the first flight come. I'm waiting and be sure we that they watch if now you see they happen. But we go to do your own thing now. We go to just watch the picture they make we see how they go. Yes, caller, are they live on air? You name and who the call from?
Yeah, this is Ayo the call from US.
Yes, Ayo, you get the platform.
Yeah, I think this law wouldn't repeal a good idea. But at the same time, everybody should be responsible, act responsibly when they do their work, because this not affect the parliamentarians alone. It affects everybody in the country. They can tell lies about ordinary citizens too. So everybody, especially the journalists, then for make sure say before they print or publish anything, they should make sure say they have their facts ready to back it up. Because we're not going on tomorrow, then come up with another thing, say, then they pick on them, so it's a good thing, but they make sure, say, they verify anything they want for print, so there will be no confusion. That's my contribution.
Thank you very much, Ayo. Thank you, sir. You were watching on Facebook, which you they see now. Now the screening exercise really go on for people who get for board today. What you they see social distancing, you see everybody wearing masks, even though on net, but I believe they see something. Because next week we call the Director General for the Civil Aviation, for make he can't talk to we. So I believe say now we don't get opportunity for see how the implementation they take place with the social distancing, with the face mask. How you see they happen nobody? Yes, caller, they live on air. Your name and the call from, please.
Yeah, this is Omar from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
You get 3 minutes, sir.
Yes. So immune take on this particular stuff, I think that I work in progress, and I win for everybody in Sierra Leone today. For that bill, I don't know if he be able to get the statistics as to how the bill passed, without a day for against.
I think it was unanimously passed.
There we go. So you see that the thing that for any bill for that pass, if for no say people and they for supporter. I think that kudos for everybody whether at that place they whether no. And sometimes, you can be opposition, but if you don't know, say this thing whether I can't do now good for like common good for everybody. I think say you don't need for oppose on that. Sometimes then I then mistake that we can do. You go there at the opposition, when somebody brings something will benefit everybody, you there against that. That's not a good thing. You go there opposition, but say if the population they benefit by that particular thing the way they come on, if I endorse them, Now that I feel saying that a good thing that for everybody in Sierra Leone today. We'll get Bokutin the way to go on, but I think saying I saw people then for the work amicably forget solution. We separated at this forum also. If we learn from down there, I think so we will do plenty things at that place there. And I recently you talk about voting right over yonder. People and they, if you check even the Asia world and people and then America, yeah, whether they vote still and they are then a part of the voting right now that place that they can vote. This way you don't bring council on another topic that they will for push you again too. Because you go there and send the ballot, you go to send at the embassy or if you then as Sierra Leone, can able to take part in that stuff. Now they call democracy, So I think I work in progress. We all want to do now, not say what to the talk that they listen to her. We just keep for the move on. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Omar. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Yes, caller, they live on air. Your name and who the call from?
Yeah, I name Abdullah Bimara. They call from France.
Yes, Abdullah, you get 3 minutes, sir.
Yes, my quick contribution today. I really happy today. After work today, I see with ministers and parliamentarians, everybody they are ensemble. They talk about one or two issues. I'm really happy because the first time by history, this is what they see really 9 hours. Then taking our parliament, they talk together from when they come together. This is not a great improvement at least. Now one step where they don't take. We hope for see more. And the video on Facebook, you know, they really enjoy it. You know, they welcome everybody back to our salon. And may they not forget again for waiting at the precautions the way government said everybody for take. So I'm really happy today and a wonderful day. That's a million contribution.
Thank you very much, Abdullah. Thank you, sir. Yes, caller, I live on air. Your name and who side you call from?
My name is Koma. I call from the United States.
Yes, Koma, you get 3 minutes, sir.
Yeah, before I proceed, just a short one. Now which flight landed today now?
No, this flight, the one way then they do so now, I check then they check in. I check then they check in. For the flight, I can ask the Director General. I'm unable to get the flight, but I can ask her now. Which flight? I think, yes. I can ask her now, but then they check in.
Okay, that's fine. The only thing, we're happy for it being a salon today. But honestly, this just again, tell me say, President Bio, kind of slow, but I'm not really letting work. It just can't say, them two political parties, and partially get that revenge against our spirits. But I kind of trust President Bio. So, whatever he say, he must do. Maybe it goes slow for done, but it will end up to feel whatever promise you make. I just want to go for I trust the process anyway. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Kuruma. Thank you. Now, live from the Freetown International Airport, now you watch so. There is a flight where they're about for land and a flight where they're about for takeoff. But make I just ask the Director General now. Make we know which flight where they come. So how you see the airport right now, even though I'm not saying a net, it's dark, but at least we see something. How you see the social distancing and all the thing that were there in place. You think say everything is set for receive the first passengers the way they can go land there, and for takeoff the first one they will get for left there? Salon. Look, continue for watch. We end the one pot today, then we watch this now we want. Or because today not to politics. So it look like say we're all glad you not to so. Yeah, because we don't see the face mask. See, this now the station. You go see them get the stations, them always then go for take the swab. Then for the incoming, because they know they take swab for outgoing. See that one day, then get that 500,000 Leones and also the 700,000 at the VIP. Yes, caller, I live on air. Your name and who side you call from, please.
This is Ibrahim from Maryland.
Yes, Ibrahim, you get 3 minutes, sir.
Say this video they was the start with today in the program,
I know, right?
Yeah, okay, let me go to the program proper. Thank you very much for giving me a platform. Anyway, we're glad today in Sierra Leone. But this gladness, Lord, make sure say we use them wisely. It doesn't mean we don't repeal this act. We get for do the wrong thing. We get for and behave responsibly, including every citizen, in a politician, because politician better than get a role for play. Because, like what they say before in the repeal listing, some politicians have listing the parliamentarians and so on, they say, they get some journalists there where they say they only they go after politicians. But not if you say this repeal now for only journalists it is for. It is for every Sierra Leoneans. Because in any democracy, we get for get free speech. And free speech, you get for be responsible. So the overjoyed today, I not get for go far. Thank you very much for giving me a platform.
All right, thank you very much, Ibrahim. I think say in the next 5 minutes with the closure, let us go get the live from airport. I think that's what we'll do today. Yeah? In the next 5 minutes, the phone line. So the caller from Australia, you still get the opportunity if you still want for call and be part of the program. We can't call you back, so we're sorry. But because we want for make we able for you waiting and the talk, so in the next 5 minutes, you will get the opportunity for make we live and direct. Now you see Nakovac did it right now. Nakovac did it inspect. I don't know. Now Nakovac for can inspect. Where people and then a line already for come inside. Because the people that we see, so you see somebody falling on Solomon Jamil, they see Nakovac did it and they inspect, see how everything be done. Maybe them be done kind of before, but I just hope say not today that one can do correction, so we don't get the information at Turkish airline. Now in the come, Turkish airline. Now in the come today. We asked the Director General of the Civil Aviation and he don't answer we. Make we call this caller, but we can't left here now, so that we all go just sit down and watch how things they happen at the airport. But me will call this caller. Yes, caller, you live on air. You name and who the call from? Yes, caller, you live on air.
Tipule, thank you very much for another beautiful program. James Kamara, the call from Washington, D.C. again. One of the bands that we always do listening to the cool, calm, and collective program. You know, I just want to hope much on this seditious libel we passed today at the House by Salon. You know, also to say for talk before talk, this is one of the promise that we the president made initially. So we want to tell and thank you, because when goods have been done, then we get for the talk that. So it don't fulfill one of the promises then, but we don't want to forget, they be complacent. There are so many other things that if we don't say we can, we do. And we want to make it continue to stick to that. You know, they continue to flip the page and they hammer some of them things that they, we want to commend the House for some of the things that we themselves were able to take up this mantle today. The kind energy we then put on this seditious libel today, we hope say in the future they will continue to put the same energy into some of their rules and way that they affect with people in our salon. Quite frankly, there are so many rules and regulations and way that they have that improvements, local government issues, community issues, and just basic things that way that they happen on a daily basis. A couple of days ago, we had to talk about corruption between the unions and all of these things. And these are not simple logic things that way the government will continue for they put a light on. So we hope that the House will continue to put more energy, and we want to tell the president, thank you for this thing we didn't bring today, we didn't pass on for something we don't do now with Constitution for over 50 years. If they finally shine lights to them, that shows the type of improvement with democracy they make. So I want to tell you thank you for the program. Again, we continue to support you. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
We're going to be back tomorrow. Till we meet again, Tripoli say, tata.